Tiffany Shlain, 24/6 The Power of Unplugging One Day a Week. Embark on a journey of personal growth and discovery by exploring the idea of a 24/6, a concept introduced by Tiffany Shlain in her book, The Power of Unplugging One Day a Week. Get ready to understand the significance of a day of rest, learn the impact of technology and digital world on our lives and productivity, and take inspiration to develop your own tech Shabbat traditions. Discover the power of rest and sleep, the benefits of daydreaming or zoning out, and how taking back control of your time can help promote creativity, critical thinking, and adaptability.
The Vanishing Art of Rest. The concept of rest days dates back thousands of years, when the Hebrews began observing the Sabbath. Eventually, Christians and Muslims followed suit, and even secular organizations like unions recognized the importance of days off. However, in a modern world where technology keeps us perpetually connected, weekends have become increasingly scarce. The constant bombardment of news, communication, and work notifications has pushed the boundaries between work and leisure, negatively affecting our health and productivity. It's time to reclaim control of your time by reevaluating the importance of rest and exploring ways to establish your own tech-free moments. Long before the establishment of weekends, the Hebrew people practiced a day of rest known as Shabbat. This tradition was later adopted by other cultures, with Christians choosing Sundays and Muslims opting for Fridays. Over time, secular groups began to acknowledge the value of rest days, leading to the eventual creation of weekends during the 20th century. These dedicated days off provided opportunities for education, reflection, creativity, and building family connections. However, the landscape of rest and leisure has been drastically altered in today's digital age. Gone are the times when weekends were reserved for relaxation and rejuvenation. In the United States alone, 63% of employees report working on most weekends. This constant connection to work has resulted in an erosion of functional boundaries between office hours and personal time. The ubiquity of smartphones and digital technology has significantly changed how we perceive and manage time, from pulling 24/7 news updates to replacing bedtime reading with responding to emails. Despite the initial promise of technology reducing work hours, it has instead fostered a culture of constant connectivity, negatively affecting our health and productivity. Research reveals that working 60 hours per week not only leads to decreased output compared to a 40-hour week, but also increases the risk of heart disease and death. Recognizing the inherent benefits of rest and embracing methods such as Tech Shabbat traditions can empower individuals to redress the imbalance and regain control of their time. Recharge with screen-free Sundays. Stepping away from technology one day a week might seem counterintuitive, but it can significantly impact your productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. Tiffany Shlain, the founder of the Webby Awards, discovered the effectiveness of having screen-free days, when she and her team saw their efficiency skyrocket. This is largely due to the fact that adequate rest leads to healthier brains and better sleep. In addition, embracing the power of sleep can improve our problem-solving abilities and foster creativity, as was embraced by famous figures such as Edison, Einstein, and Dali. Moreover, it's essential to recognize that the blue light emitted by screens can negatively impact our sleep and cause long-term health issues. Shlain suggests that taking a full day off from screens is like a system update, making you more productive and creative in the long run. Do you ever feel like you can barely manage your time, let alone take a full day off from screens? Fret not, as disengaging from digital devices for just one day a week might actually do wonders for your productivity and well-being. Tiffany Shlain, while setting up the Webby Awards in her film studio, put this idea to the test, and her entire team saw the positive effects. The primary reason for this productivity boost was improved sleep. A good night's rest ensures that our brain functions at its optimum, as several vital processes take place during this time. For example, synaptic homeostasis washes away harmful byproducts that accumulate throughout the day, while synapses return to normal size after a day's worth of activity. Furthermore, rapid eye movement, REM, sleep allows the brain to make sense of the day's events, establish connections, and even solve problems we might be pondering. Legendary figures like Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, and Salvador Dali harnessed the power of sleep to boost their creativity by devising innovative waking mechanisms. However, our constant screen usage poses a threat to a good night's rest. Research psychologist Dr. Larry Rosen reveals that the blue light emitted by screens can cause sleep deprivation, and worse, contribute to long-term issues like Alzheimer's. Surprisingly, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings once admitted that sleep, not other streaming platforms, is their biggest competition, highlighting the constant battle between our digital consumption and rest. Taking a periodic hiatus from screens resembles a much-needed system update for our brains. Not only does it increase productivity and creativity, but it also safeguards our health and well-being in the long run. So don't hesitate to reclaim your Sundays, disconnect from your devices, and see the benefits unfold. Prepping for Tech Shabbat. To fully experience a Tech Shabbat, there are a few items and rules to consider. Gather a landline, analog watch, printer, screenless music player, and paper with pens while setting a specific day and informing your contacts. Disconnecting from technology allows you to focus on in-person relationships and enjoy the day without distractions. Starting a Tech Shabbat requires a few essential items. First, since you won't be using your smartphone, you'll need a landline for making and receiving calls. Check if one comes with your internet package or purchase one separately. For checking the time, find an old analog watch you might have hidden in a drawer. Furthermore, a printer is crucial. On the evening before your Tech Shabbat, print out your schedule, relevant maps, and vital phone numbers. If you enjoy listening to music, invest in a screenless device like a record player or boombox. Paper and black Sharpie pens are also necessary for jotting down thoughts and stacking items on your to-do list. To store memorable moments, try being present and embracing the experience. If you need to take pictures, use a camera, even a digital one. If a smartphone is the only option, switch it to airplane mode and avoid editing or sharing photos. Next, select a specific day for your Tech Shabbat. Weekends tend to work well for most people, but choose a day that accommodates your schedule. Strive for a full 24-hour experience, but be flexible if needed. It's alright to shorten or reschedule occasionally when circumstances don't permit it. Just make sure you resume the following week. Once you've chosen the day, inform your family, friends, boss, and co-workers to minimize interruptions. Announce it in person or via social media, so they know not to expect your usual prompt response. Now that your Tech Shabbat is organized, consider how to make the most of it. Sharing meals with others is always gratifying, so think about inviting loved ones, friends, or even acquaintances that you find intriguing or inspiring. By disconnecting from technology for a day, you'll create deeper connections and savor life without constant digital distractions. Unleashing mind power. Embrace daydreaming, as it engages your brain's default mode network, which makes up to 80% of the brain, and boosts creativity. In the past, people would zone out more often, making new mental connections. However, this tendency has been disrupted by our dependency on smartphones. Instead of fostering creativity, smartphones lead us to follow other people's connections and the online world. Reading a novel or watching a movie, on the other hand, strengthens our empathetic abilities. To increase productivity and creativity, make it a habit to switch off your smartphone or put it away. As a, potentially former, daydreamer, you might have gotten into trouble for losing yourself in your thoughts. But rest assured that daydreaming isn't merely a waste of time. On the contrary, it's an essential process that enables your mind to explore the past, present, and future. When you allow your mind to wander, you activate your default mode network, a powerful network that comprises up to 80% of your brain. This activation enables your brain to forge new connections, thus enhancing your cleverness and creativity. In the not-so-distant past, people were more prone to daydreaming while waiting at a bus stop or during idle moments. But now smartphones have eclipsed this natural process. Instead of forming your own mental connections, you tend to follow those crafted by others. Your mind becomes preoccupied with commerce, politics, and potentially darker corners of the web. However, immersing yourself in novels or movies is different, as it allows you to experience other perspectives and cultivates empathy, something aimless scrolling rarely achieves. When it's time to concentrate and get things done, your brain's task-positive network kicks in. This powerful tool helps you focus on the present and the task at hand, but it's also vulnerable to digital distractions. A single phone call can derail your concentration, whether you're in default mode or not. Remember this crucial lesson: to unleash your full creative and productive potential, disconnect from your smartphone by turning it off or using airplane mode. Give your mind the space it needs to flourish. Rethink technology, shape the future. In the digital age, screens have become an integral part of our lives, both at work and during leisure time. To lessen our dependence on technology and create meaningful change, we must envision the future we want and take deliberate steps toward it. One such step is to adopt a Tech Shabbat, a weekly 24-hour period of disconnection from screens, fostering introspection, creativity, and human connections. We live in a world dominated by screens, from devices providing around-the-clock work availability to leisure-time gadgets that we've grown addicted to. This rapid digital takeover may make it seem like we have no control over technology's impacts on us and future generations. Consider the pervasive influence of advertising. Ads have become ubiquitous in our lives, present in billboards, TV, and internet pop-ups. In 2006, São Paulo, Brazil, chose to take matters into their own hands by banning outdoor ads, resulting in a cleaner and quieter city. Imagine how implementing similar restrictions on social media ads could transform our online experiences. To create meaningful and lasting change, we must first envision the future we desire, then work backward to identify the steps we must take to achieve it. Initiating a Tech Shabbat, a regular 24-hour disconnection from technology, is one such significant change. This time away from screens allows for self-introspection, revealing our most cherished values and helping us actively promote them in society. Moreover, the future promises technological innovations beyond our current understanding. By 2100, an estimated 11.2 billion digitally connected individuals will inhabit the Earth. We must strive to shape a future that reflects our values, rather than submit to the trajectory set by uncontrolled technological advancement. The era of increased automation does not entail human obsolescence. Our strengths lie in our uniquely human capabilities, such as understanding context, an area where artificial intelligence struggles. Traits like creativity, critical thinking, and adaptability have become essential in today's world, and fostering these skills through education initiatives will shape the generations to come. A Tech Shabbat promotes such qualities by creating an environment conducive to reflection and human connection. Taking deliberate breaks from technology, living in the present, and focusing on the things that truly matter are the most revolutionary acts in today's hyperconnected world. By consciously unplugging, we not only pave the way for personal growth but also shape a future that embraces our innate humanity.
In conclusion, 24/6 The Power of Unplugging One Day a Week challenges the modern culture of constant connectivity by advocating for a tech-free day each week. Tiffany Shlain emphasizes the importance of taking a break from screens and creating mindful, quiet moments in our lives to foster creativity and productivity while staying grounded in the present. This book encourages us to establish our own Tech Shabbat traditions, strive for balance in the digital age, and focus on developing essential human qualities like empathy, critical thinking, and adaptability. By embracing the 24/6 lifestyle, you can protect your well-being and build stronger relationships with family and friends.